Hi everyone, today is October 1st and it's a beautiful, beautiful day out. It's warm. It's actually real warm today, but we are supposed to have a frost towards Thursday, Friday. So all these cucumber plants behind me are pretty much done for the year, and I'm just going to pull them out so I can get these gardens cleaned out a little faster, and hopefully that will work. So I'm just going to throw all the dead cucumber plants. They're not really totally dead. I'm going to put them in the wagon to go to the chickens. See, they still have some little cucumbers on them. More cucumbers. We'll keep the bigger ones. These cucumber plants have done exceptionally well this year, actually. I've just gotten a ton of them. Here's a huge one. Got a whole bunch more plants over here. Alright, so I got all the cucumber plants harvested out of there, and I actually have a big wagon full of the plants that I'm just going to throw in the chicken pen. And the only thing left over here is my zucchini plant that I'm probably just going to take out today because it's not really going to, I might leave it a couple days just because I do have some small zucchini that could get bigger before frost. So this year for my cucumbers, I just used, for a trellis, I just used crib sides for a baby crib, and they actually worked out pretty good. They held up fairly well. So I'm just gonna put those away and use them for next year. So these are all the cucumbers that were left on the vine, and so we still got a little bit more. And we've harvested a ton already, like hundreds of cucumbers out of this little patch. I grew a little bit of broom corn this year, just because I never grew it before. So I wanted to try and see what it was like. It's pretty tall. I don't even know how tall it is, but they're pretty tall. Anyway, I'm gonna cut them down, and I actually don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. But I think I'm gonna harvest the tops and maybe make a bouquet, do something with them. I actually like it. I think I might grow some more next year. Alright, so I just brought the broom corn in here and put it on top of the rabbit cages for now till I figure out what I'm gonna do with it. But it's pretty long. What do you guys usually do with your broom corn? Let me know. I definitely don't have enough to actually make a broom, I don't think. So I guess I just tried to grow it this year because it was something different. I like to try something new every year. So this year was broom corn, and I think I might grow it again. I kind of like the looks of it, but I'm not really sure like if it was actually done or not. Like I think that this should have like more color to it, like kind of like this one down here. It's got some pretty colors to it, and that one there. Look, the little bunnies know it's there. They're like, let me have it. No, they spilled their water again. I threw a couple of the leaves in there just to see if they'd like it, and they seem to be munching down pretty good. So if worst comes to worst, I know what I can do with the leaves anyway. Just so cute. So this is the soil that I actually grew the cucumbers in this year. You can see it's really, really nice. And all I did was I cleaned out the chicken coop in the early spring, and then I brought it out here and just piled it on the garden with the hay and the all the manure and the wood chips and everything that was mixed in. And then I waited about a month and a half, and then I planted the cucumbers in here, and it really was a really good harvest. And now I'm just trying to shake all the weeds out of here, and that way this area will be done and finished and ready for next year. I'll probably grow something different over here. I don't know. I might do the cucumbers again over here since they did so good. I was actually originally going to do pumpkins, but then I kind of changed my mind. So it's really loose, nice soil. Get all the weeds out. And the fresh manure, like even, I mean, it was like a month and a half old at that time, so it really did not bother the plants at all, because I threw it like on top of my wood chips anyway, so the plants were actually down in the soil, and I just covered them with the stuff from the coop. So it's breaking down really nicely, and it'll be a great place for planting again next year. So I'm back in the greenhouse. I was just checking on the trays, the flats that I had put seeds in to grow some greens over the fall inside the greenhouse. And this tray is germinating pretty well. And this one, it was really dry, so I watered it, but I don't have anything in there yet. So hopefully this week we'll see something, but it was really dry. So it's not looking too awful hot for the pumpkins. They're still quite green. And if we're gonna have a frost this week, then I'm probably going to lose all the pumpkins. And the leaves look terrible. This one here is probably the closest to getting ripe. And it would be really hard to cover this the whole entire area. Like, that would just be impossible at this point. Found a nice little tomato. I actually have a whole bunch of tomatoes that I'm actually going to harvest tomorrow. I think I'm going to come out and just get them all out of the garden, whether they're green or not, because I can ripen them up inside. And then the tomatoes will be out. My celery isn't quite ready to harvest yet. It's not quite big enough, but I think the celery can tolerate a little bit of a frost, which I'm hoping is just gonna be a light frost. And that way, the things that can still have time to ripen, they can handle a little frost, will still do okay. The greenery on it just looks beautiful though. The flowers are still looking so pretty. I love growing marigolds in the garden. Not only do they help keep animals away, they just look so pretty next to the vegetables.
This was actually my sunflower because we grew it over here.
Yeah.
Mommy!
What?
This.
What do you got? Oh, a sunflower head?
Yeah.
Oh. Here, let me have it.
And
Yep,
then-
that's your sunflower. There's a bee on it. You see that big bee?
Yeah. No,
Right
other
there,
one.
see?
The other one. Yeah, I see it.
Oh. You did a good job growing this sunflower.
Yep. But you helped me.
My kids are out in their bathing suits today. It's October 1st, and they were sweating, so they decided to
Mommy, this one fell down. Oh no,
play
it's
outside in
dead.
their swimsuits.
Mommy, this one's dead.
Yeah, it fell over. It'll be okay. Yeah, this one is pretty big. All right, so I went ahead and picked up all the tomatoes out of the garden, and a lot of them are not ready yet, but I'm going to take them inside and try to ripen them up that way. Our cucumbers, we got some winter squash, some zucchini. I do have a few red tomatoes, and then a whole nother big tray of tomatoes that aren't ripe yet. So hopefully tomorrow I will get out here and get the rest of the tomatoes out of the garden and hopefully get them ripe so I can can them up.